Hello everyone, it's me again. So just wanted to update things a bit quickly here before we begin today's video. So for those of you who've been subscribed for a while, I was Lucky Dimitri, so don't be alarmed. I have not killed and replaced them. That is still me. It's still me, but I've just been working on a bit of a rebrand, and for the time being, this is just what's best for me. So you may refer to me now as Nixian. Bit of a cheesy name, but I still kind of like it, especially because of how much I love Nix. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time on this. It's kind of a big deal, kind of not at the same time, but yeah, just moving forward, I will be Nixian. So please look forward to more things under the new rebrand, and I hope I can live up to everyone's expectations. I'll probably do an update video on this a bit more in depth later, but for now, for today's video, I wanted to do a tier list, and I thought the best option was an Ascended tier list. Ever since Ascended Ishtar came out, I decided that, you know, I'm not really a fan of all the Ascendeds. I like some of them are meh, but I decided to rank them just based on, like, overall things, because I don't know, I just thought my opinion would be nice to be heard, even though it's probably garbage. But I just want to say before this that you are free to like whatever unit you like. That is the point of the game. Build whoever you want to. This is just my opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna go over them, rank them, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. Sorry, this is my first time doing something like this. So we're gonna go in order, and we're gonna start with the very first Ascended hero given to us, Ascended Fjorm. So Ascended Fjorm was a part of the Tempest Trial Fire and Ice story that we had. And for those of you who don't know what an Ascended hero are, I'd be shocked if you didn't. Ascended heroes are basically mini legendary heroes, kind of. So basically they give what's called an Ascended Floret, and you can use that to ascend one of your unit's stats, and it basically becomes a secondary boon for them. And it's very good. It is very good. Ascended heroes are a once a month hero that we get on a new heroes banner, and we've had 6 of them so far. So yeah, we're just gonna be ranking them. So Fjorm, I'm sure everyone knows Fjorm by now. She's from Fire Emblem Heroes. She's book 2, I believe. No, she is book 2. She's a princess from Nifl. And she is a pain in the ass. If you played 8th Raids or Summoner Duels at all, you know how awful it is to go up against a Fjorm. Her weapon, Nifl's Bite, gives her a slaying, DC, Breath of Life, Null C, and it's just absolutely disgusting, especially with her base kit. Her personal special, Ice Mirror, which is a 2 cooldown special, but it is 1 thanks to Nifl's Bite. Tie-in with Hardy Fighter just gives her insane amounts of damage reduction as a far save unit, and it is awful to deal with. There's really no specific counter to her except for, like, you know, using a melee unit with like armor effectiveness, or just using a melee unit, because honestly her defense is pretty garbage. She's just an amazing far save tank, and she's gonna be here to stay for a while, I'm pretty sure, because even with the anti-save skills that we have from Summoner Duels, she is immune to them thanks to the No C Disrupt in her weapon. Overall, an amazing unit, very good. I put her up in meta tier because she is very much meta, and she's not going anywhere for a while. Yeah, so I hope that made sense, my explanation. If not, I apologize. Sorry, I'm a bit bad at this. But moving on to our moving on to our next Ascended hero, it's Leguarn. Leguarn, again, was a part of the Tempest Trial Fire and Ice story we had going on. She is from Fire Emblem Heroes, of course. And she's our second Ascended hero. I just want to say, I believe Leguarn is a great unit. I have mine at +3. And beautiful, stunning artwork. I love this artwork so much. I love her little cat ears. It's so adorable. Unfortunately, I believe Leguarn's the weakest out of all of our Ascended heroes. I do believe she is a very good unit. Her weapon, again, has slaying, and it grants her an effective sort of bonus doubler in a way. So basically, if she has a bonus active on her, she gets 50% of the total bonuses on herself and the foe with a max cap of 12. But unfortunately, we're kind of in a very heavy lull meta where lull is very common to see, whether it be on weapons or B slots, and it really hurts her performance. Even with the no follow-up in her weapon, it just doesn't help her performance at all. She is a very good unit, not bad by any means, but out of all of our Ascended so far, I definitely do believe she is the weakest out of them. Astonishing unit though. I do love using her. She's very fun, but she just needs a little bit of love in order to make her really flourish. And unfortunately, in the current meta, I don't think she shines too brightly, but I do believe she is decent. She is decent, but I do believe she is the weakest out of all of our Ascended heroes so far. So moving on to our next hero, we have Joshua. So Joshua was the first Ascended hero that came from a different game. He wasn't an OC. And he is from Sacred Stones. So unfortunately, I haven't played Sacred Stones yet, so I can't talk too much about Joshua. But I do love his artwork, kind of. I have an issue a bit with his artwork. His mask is so tight on his face where you see the details. I hate that so much. That really bugs me. Because no mask should be that tight on someone's face that you can point out all the little details on his lips and everything. But let's not judge the artwork too much, Leo. Okumi Yugo, great artist. I just am not a fan too much of the mask thing he's got going on. So as a unit, Joshua also has slaying. Okay, I want to say before we continue, all of the Ascended heroes have slaying. I just think that's so funny to know that every single one of them has slaying on their weapons. That's because it's one of the best effects in the game. So, as a unit, Joshua does perform very well, I would like to believe. Very well. So when at the start of combat, if he has more than 25% HP, which is a very common effect these days, he inflicts speed and defense -6 on the foe, and he neutralizes the foe's bonuses to speed and defense. And that's where I said, like with Leguarn, there's just a lot of units these days that just neutralize bonuses, which is why she doesn't perform so well. But Joshua loves that. It's I believe it works very well for him. And if he's in a cardinal direction, which means if he's in the same column or row as the foe, they cannot counterattack. He gets the flash effect, and but otherwise he gets 15% of his the foe's attack as true damage. Both two very great effects. And on top of it, his kit comes with no follow-up, which is a very meta skill. No follow-up is everywhere these days. On top of Life or Death, just gives him amazing offensive capabilities. I do believe he performs a bit better than Leguarn, personally. So I would personally rank him in the mid-tier. He's not as meta as Fjorm, but he's not as bad as Leguarn. So he's a very decent unit. Nothing special, nothing out of this world, but very decent and a good way to kick off Ascendants. Now let's get into the Ascendants I have mixed feelings towards. So our next Ascendant is Edun. Edun comes from Fire Emblem 6, the Binding Blade. And she was our first female non-OC Ascended hero. And let's just say she's ridiculous. Everyone knows Brave Hector. Now imagine that as a dragon, and you have Ascended Edun right here. She's a fantastic unit. Armoreds are just very disgusting these days. Ever since saves were introduced, armors have just performed incredibly well. And she's just an absolutely ridiculous unit. There's honestly not much to say other than she's quite literally a dragon Brave Hector. I mean, her weapon gives her slaying. It neutralizes effective against armor bonuses when she's within 3 spaces of an ally, which is amazing for her because she's a save unit. It neutralizes her penalties. The foe can't make a follow-up attack. And then on top of this, her kit came with a new fighter skill, Willy Fighter, which neutralizes. I actually forgot what Willy Fighter does. I believe it was bonuses on the foe. Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was bonuses on the foe. That's what it does. And just an amazing kit, ties completely together. And she works as a near save tank. She works as a far save tank because of Hardy Fighter. She can use damage reduction skills to just absorb damage. She's just an absolute tank, and she's very incredible. Definitely one of the top tiers. I would personally say Edun is, if I can, there we go, is the best Ascended hero we have gotten so far. Definitely 100%. Amazing performance. There's just really not much competition with her. Even with Dragon Slayers, I would say. Dragon Slayers are pretty much her only weakness. And even then, she can just soak up so much damage. It's really incredible. So yeah, that's Edun. So on to our next Ascended hero is it's Merida. Okay, so funny thing about Merida, I feel like everyone knew Merida specifically because of Vital Astra. So Merida is from Fire Emblem Thracia 776, which I'm currently working on a playthrough of. So here's the thing about Merida. A lot of people just view her as Vital Astra fodder, which is completely fair because Vital Astra is the very first inheritable speed-based special, and on top of this, it has built-in damage reduction to it if the special is ready at the start of combat. So as a result, a lot of people grabbed her specifically to fodder her, but as a unit, she performs, I would say, very well. So again, she has slaying, and at the start of her turn 1, she gets -1 special cooldown, so it's times pulse in a sense, and because Vital Astra is a 2 cooldown special put at 1 because of her, she's going to have Vital Astra ready every time unless there's like a pulse smoke effect, because after combat she gets -1 special cooldown. Again, she gets like a mini special spiral, and she's pretty much just a better base Merida because her weapon is slaying, Spectrum 5, and no follow-up. Just added in the times pulse effect with Spiral to really get Vital Astra going. But she's in a very oversaturated class. Infantry swords are everywhere these days, and it's just a bit hard to compete. She's definitely one of the better ones, without a doubt, 100%. I wouldn't say she's anywhere meta-breaking. She's definitely not broken in any sort of way, and you're never really gonna run into her because everyone's just using Vital Astra anyways. So as a result, I would say Merida goes into the mid tier. She is a very decent unit. Performs very well, especially with Vital Astra. But unfortunately, people are really just grabbing her for the Vital Astra fodder. And onto our latest and last Ascended hero, Ishtar. So Ishtar hails from Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. And she is our latest Ascended hero. And here's where I say I kind of have mixed feelings towards Ascended heroes, because Ascended heroes felt like ways for characters who wouldn't get legendaries to get legendaries, and I understand that, you know, that these are popular characters and IS wants to make money. I just wish there was a bit more variety with like some less popular characters to get, you know, to get ascendants, but then it wouldn't sell well and blah 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 blah. But beautiful artwork nonetheless. I love the artwork here, and the little plushies are so cute. Excuse me. But unfortunately, dying isn't very ascended worthy, but according to the game, it is. But as a unit, Ishtar is, she's basically what I would call a Gen 6 Reinhardt. So her weapon again has slaying, and sorry for the background noise, my little brother just walked in even though I asked him not to while I was recording. So she accelerates special trigger at the start of the turn. No, she has slaying in her weapon. And of course, again, at the start of combat, for her HP is about 25%. She gets attack speed +6, and she has null guard and null breath. So, you know, she can't be guarded, and foes cannot have any skill that gives them like a +1 per attack and such. And if she initiates combat and she has 10 more speed than the foe, she attacks twice. Excuse me. So she's another one of those mages we've gotten recently with the trend of they want to quad, or they want to just deal out tons of damage very quickly. A good example would be Ninja Korin, or what's called a Rave, Harmonic Lysithia. But unfortunately, it's just kind of getting meh, to put it lightly. I mean, we have better units to do this, I would say. Ninja Korin definitely the best example of this. She performs way better than Ishtar, I would feel. Without a doubt. Because she can just quad easily, and Ishtar has to get that +10 speed, which is very easy, especially, it's so easy to manipulate speed these days, 100%. And even fodder-wise, Ishtar doesn't really have much going for her. Life and Death 4 is on so many units these days. I mean, I was pity broken by like 4 units who had Life and Death 4 when I was like going for like Ashe a couple months back. I got like a wolf and like 2 or 3 Lilas while I was summoning. And even then, Time's Pulse as well is just not very exclusive anymore. There's just a lot of units that have it, but she's again a good unit. I think if she had no follow-up somewhere in her weapon or some sort of desperation effect, it definitely would have helped her a bit more. Or maybe Phantom Speed built in, something like that. But I just personally don't feel like she's anything crazy, especially because we have a lot more units that just perform better. So I think she's great. I would put her above Joshua, I would feel. Or I would maybe put them in like the same like, you know, the same kind of tier together, kind of like they're interchangeable, honestly. I think Marita is better than the both of them. But yes, this is on my tier list. I hope it's good. Sorry, I'm not used to doing tier lists, so it's a bit embarrassing. Because I hope I did the tier list justice. Again, feel free to build whoever you want. That's the point of the game. This is just who I feel is just compared to one another, like who's the best. And they're all great units. Again, every single one of them is amazing. They're all great units, and they're so much fun to use. Just, this is how I feel they each stack up against each other. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe or something. I think that's what people say. My name is Nixian, and I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.